Welcome to episode 93 of the Thunder Underground podcast. My name is Trent, and as always, I'm joined by Jason.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, what's going on is we're 93 deep here.
That's not a bad thing.
No. Usually one of us comes prepared with something clever about that number, but I didn't have anything.
Well, I do know that 93, sometimes we equate that with years.
Yeah.
93 was good for, that was a good summer, right? You had,
That's the first year I ever saw Ugly Kid Joe, and the last year I ever saw Ugly Kid Joe. That's the most random info anyone could receive by listening to this podcast.
Aerosmith had, God, what was that album called? The udder that was pierced.
Oh, Get a Grip?
Get a Grip. That was a great record. It came out in 93.
Yeah, Eat the Rich.
Sound of White Noise came out in 93, right?
Was it? Or was it 92?
Ooh, I don't know.
Regardless, it was...
I should reel that in, maybe. We'll just go with Get a Grip and how amazing that record was.
The Shit in the Sheds was in that.
Shit in the Sheds.
Yeah, Metallica.
See, so we got it. Yeah, we're there.
There you go. Okay, getting back on track. This episode features Dakota and Trevor of the band Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience.
Exactly.
I was afraid I was going to screw that up, but I didn't. I said it right the first time.
You got it. But you know what? I want to say something.
Okay.
I did not have a sexual experience just now. I was listening to Sirius XM and Cannibal Corpse. Nope, not Cannibal Corpse. 6 Feet Under came on with a cover of Deep Purple's Smoke on the Water. And maybe it was sexual because my ears were raped. It was disgusting. It was fucked up, and it was stupid.
Well,
here's the thing: is I don't want to begrudge 6 Feet Under. I don't want to begrudge Chris Barnes. I don't want to begrudge death metal. It's not my thing, but I respect it.
Some of them you can get into.
And some of it's really good.
You can get into some Napalm
There's
Death.
some Cataclysm, some Deicide Napalm Death. Really great stuff. But when I heard this version, I was like, this is something I don't need to hear, nor does anyone else.
I've heard a lot of 6 Feet Under's covers because they've done a lot. They have those graveyard classics or whatever they call them.
Like their version of Rock and Roll and Noise Pollution.
Yeah, it's noise
No one
pollution.
should ever hear that ever.
It is noise pollution, right?
It is. So I just, my ears are trying to recover. So if I say hunt a lot, that's why.
Okay.
So proceed. My apologies. Just had to get that out there.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this chat a little bit with Trevor and Dakota. Trevor's probably offended right now. I bet Trevor likes 6 Feet Under, knowing him. But anyway.
But you know what? They also know that not everyone's the same.
That's
and we
true.
all like different shit and hate different shit.
Yeah.
And those, Trevor and Dakota, are guys that definitely respect that.
That's true.
And that's more than I can say for myself. So that's great.
Well, and speaking of stuff that's totally different and loosely related to death metal, I saw Andrew WK a few days ago.
Yes.
He did he's on his 50 state speaking tour.
Okay.
Where he's just going around talking about life in general and partying and anything you want to talk about. It's basically just like a free-form thing. He talks for 30 minutes, and then he had questions from the audience for an hour, and then he sat outside for another 2.5 hours after that talking to people.
Yeah.
That's like fucking intense. That's like 4 hours straight of just talking, 3.5 hours of it just like zoning in, talking to people. And I'm just thinking, this guy's doing that for 51 dates.
Yeah.
That's pretty, that's got to be pretty intense mentally, I would think.
It does, but if there's anyone that can handle it, it's him.
Yeah. And he brought it up, he brought up talking about, his life. He mentioned death metal because we all know he's massive.
Yes,
Obituary.
he is a big death metal guy. Yeah.
Obituary and Napalm Death are like his two favorite bands, and he related those into his life stories a few times, which was pretty cool. And of course, the drummer from Obituary played on the original.
Yes.
I Get Wet. So
that's right.
There's some trivia for you.
Tardy in the house.
Yes. But yeah, it was great. It was cool. It was something different to be able to see and talk to the guy, and hopefully there's more to come from that.
Yeah, and I like that when he does that kind of stuff, he doesn't just, hi, how you doing? Let me sign this, get out of here.
Yeah.
He takes time with everybody, and that That speaks volumes, and it goes a long way.
And it's not even the general, like a lot of times when a person like that takes time with someone, it's like, they'll talk to him for a minute or so.
Yes.
But his taking time is literally however long you want to talk until you walk away.
That's right.
When you're standing there in line waiting to get up there to talk to him, there are people talking to him for 5, 6, 7 minutes, and there was no rushing it off. It was until the conversation was through.
Yeah.
And then the next person might be a minute, and the next person after that might be 7 or 8 minutes, and he didn't care.
Yeah.
You just had to deal with it if you wanted to talk to the guy.
Well, yeah, and that's a great way of doing it.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yep. Well, we're going to talk here, like we said, about Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience.
Yes.
And we want to throw out that this weekend they're playing 2 shows. They're playing Friday night at the Gypsy Coffee House. They talked about all that here in the episode. And then Saturday night, they're playing at this, what was it called? There's like several of these Halloween shows. I know they're doing one of them.
Yeah, it's not that we don't know. It's just there's so much Halloween shit going on this weekend. It's hard to keep it all straight.
They're playing...
Which is a good thing, really.
Yeah, the Halloween Fest 3.
Yes.
And it's including Aborted Youth, Extreme Isolation, And Now, and Nocturnal Winter. And they bring this up in here and they talk about those bands as well. Yeah. And while we're on the subject, if you're in this area, this area of the country, there's no excuse. And I know all over the country, this is a big time for shows, especially heavy music.
Yeah.
Because it's the Halloween season. But this weekend in Fort Smith, Arkansas at Shooters, there's a show both Friday and Saturday night. The Monster Mash 3, which is another 3rd edition we got here.
Yep.
And this is put on, I think, by DMG. It's DMG Productions, Chris Taylor, who we know and love.
Yes, we do.
Friday night, check this lineup out. Vague Vendetta, The Devil You Adore, Blackwater Rebellion, and Crane Technique.
Wow.
All 4 of those bands are great. We've seen them all. We love them all.
Yep.
That is free. Just like both the shows that Mr. Rogers was playing.
Yeah.
Then Saturday night at Shooters as well is also free. And we've got Judgmental, Scorned, Driver, and Reliance Code.
You gotta love that.
Yeah, I mean... just the same as the night before. I mean, if you're in the Fort Smith area, both these shows you don't want to miss. Mm-hmm. That's badass.
Yeah.
Saturday at Downtown Lounge is another free show. Heavy Halloween, Constant Peril, Reigns, Disparity Gospel, and Chainmail.
Yes, Chainmail.
What do you think of Chainmail?
Holy fuck! I didn't know that till just now. I'm slipping in my old age. We have to go to that or something.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, check this out. At the Shrine, Heavy Halloween.
Oh, that's right. Screamy Red Mutiny?
Yeah. Machine in the Mountain.
Jesus.
383 and Troy. That one's put on by Murdoch Productions, I think. And that's another badass lineup.
What's this Troy band? What's up with that?
They're out of... I think they're out of Missouri, and I know they played Rocklahoma. They played the Hard Rock stage or something. Really? Or no, they played some stage. They were they were the band that won a contest.
I see.
To do something.
Well, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm suspect of anything that has to do with the name Troy. I work with a guy named Troy, and he doesn't do shit, and he fucks everything up for the rest of us. So I'm just pissed automatically. So I hope they're good.
You don't know any Troy that was ever... Troy Manuel? He was cool. I remember him.
Yeah.
I ran into him at Quick Trip a few months ago.
Yeah, we saw him at the bar years ago.
That's true.
Okay, I'm a dick now. Never mind.
Well, also, this Saturday, there's a DMG Productions. Who's putting on the deal in Fort Smith.
Yes, sir.
At the same time, is also putting on a deal in... Marble Falls, Arkansas. And this is called Dead Eddie's Halloween. And it's got Crane Technique, The Salesman, and Agents of Chaos.
Jeez.
So Crane Technique's playing 2 Halloween shows, back to back in different towns.
You gotta love that.
Both in Arkansas, actually, and they're out of Missouri, so that's cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just all that. There's no excuse, is basically what we're trying to say.
Yep. And at the Halloween fest that Mr. Rogers is playing, Less Than Humans playing too, right?
That's right. I just read off that
we
list.
We fucking love them.
Yeah.
And you didn't mention them.
I just read off that list and I didn't see the name, but yeah, they're, as far as I know, they're on it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the logo is on the poster, not the name, because the logo is all you need.
Oh, okay. Maybe
and
that's
that's
why
another reason why that band's so fucking great.
Yeah.
They've got this badass logo that you just know from the start.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Mr. Rogers.
Let's do this.
Not the man, Mr. Rogers. We can if you want. He was badass.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the band Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience.
Yes.
You know, just, it's basically, you know, what, free-form music collaboration of several guys that are, you know, friends. They're young adults, you know, and they're kicking ass. And I'm excited because, you know, we've known Trevor for a while.
Yes.
Personally.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was going to throw this out, but then we'd met Dakota before, but haven't really talked in depth with him.
Yeah.
And after doing so, it's just like, it makes me extremely happy.
Yeah.
To meet dudes like this that they don't have a knowledge of music. They have like an extensive encyclopedic knowledge of music.
Yes.
Like anyone that thinks they know about music could talk to Trevor, and Trevor's like 18 and he could like talk circles around you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. These guys, I'm going to tell you something. Both these guys know more about music, than we'll ever know. I'll admit it hands down. And, you know, back in the summer, we met Dakota for the first time. And I mean, I hate to sound sugary and gay, but I fell in love with the guy. I mean, funny as hell. He knew a bunch of shit. And the same with Trevor. And what I really appreciated about these two was the fearlessness. They're experimental. They're, like you said, they're freeform. They do whatever the fuck they want. And, you know, it's pretty cool because in a lot of ways, I wish I had that, you know?
Yeah.
And so these guys, already have everything by the balls. And, you know, I just, before we hit record, you know, Dakota got there first and you were still in your little cave doing whatever it is you do. I don't know. We won't get into that. But me and him just immediately went into, you know, Metallica, you know, metal, this band, cassettes, vinyl, this and that.
3 Inches of Blood.
Yeah, 3 Inches of Blood. Exactly. And it's so refreshing to just, you know, I mean, just boom, right off the bat. And, these guys, their knowledge is vast and it's just a breath of fresh air. And also I gotta say, for this interview, everyone needs to put their rhino skin on.
Yeah.
Because we get into some pretty fucked up shit. And if you can't deal with it, just turn this shit off now.
Yeah.
And there's no apologies.
Right. No need to.
Yeah. We talk about 9/11, GG Allin, pooping on stage, whatever. Just deal with it or turn it off.
And the great thing is about their music knowledge and their love of music.
Yeah.
Is it's not, you know, we're just usually talking about hard rock and metal here, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, both of us love hard rock and metal. It's our first love and everything. But, you know, we've loved other stuff, you know, old country, whatnot. You know, I fucking love Roxette. I've said it. You know, we all have stuff outside of the rock world that we love.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Blues, so on and so forth. But, you know, in this interview, it's evident, you know, these two guys are talking, they talk about everything from John Coltrane to Mayhem.
Yeah.
And that's about as broad a spectrum as you can get, right?
Yeah.
there.
I mean, that's what it's about. And that's why I say it's like, kudos to them. That's way bigger than my spectrum.
Yeah.
I thought my spectrum was big. These guys got me beat. So it's just nothing but respect, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not pretentious and it's not, oh, we say we like this because it's, you know, it makes us look cool. They really dig whatever it is. So you know, I mean, it was, just 100% the whole interview through.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of, this is a long one, so let's just get into it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Trevor and Dakota from Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience.
Yeah. I'm going to get the Type O symbol on my hand. It's going to be outlined in orange and black, and there's going to be thorn vines going around it as a reference to October Rust.
Nice.
That's my...
I'm going to get one right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
We're actually talking to we're going to do it this weekend, but I don't think we're going to now.
Yeah. Who's doing it?
Do you know the band Crane Technique?
Yeah.
Their singer.
He's a tattoo artist.
I'll have to see it after you guys get it done, just to be sure, because I'm very picky about who's doing this. I want it to be perfect. So,
Yeah.
So are we gonna start?
We're going.
We're going.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Awesome.
can start wherever you want, but
like I don't know.
if you don't want to, if you don't want people to hear about the tattoo until it happens, I'll cut that out.
We'll get into it. I guess we'll do this. Whatever. It's unexpected. It's off the bat, kind of like a Mr. Rogers song.
There you go.
Yeah.
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 Definitely. So, I am Mr. Rogers.
I am Mr. Rogers.
Oh, I thought you were Friday, or what's that dude's name? King Friday
the 13th. No, that's is that Phil? Is Phil King Friday the 13th?
Oh.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Prince Wednesday is Ricky.
Okay.
And I don't know who the fuck Tuesday is because we don't have a girl in the band. Maybe Rylan can. He's a little bitch.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah, I love you, Rylan. I know you're gonna hear this.
Yep,
so
he's gonna hear it.
He is gonna hear it, but I love you, Rylan. So
what about the mailman? That guy who always showed up and just came inside without Mr. Rogers even inviting him in.
Maybe they're just that cool. Maybe they're just that chill. Maybe they
could be.
Mr. McFeely.
Is it?
Is it McFeely or Feely?
I think it's McFeely. Because Feely sounds too pedo.
Hold on. Yeah, it is McFeely because of the Bloodhound Gang song. He says Mr. McFeely.
Yes.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
See?
True. Nice.
First Bloodhound Gang reference on this podcast.
Of many to come.
Yes, Bloodhound. Let's get into that shit. Let's get into Bloodhound Gang.
Oh, God.
So, what's your first question for us, sirs?
Well...
Oh, I thought you had one lined up.
This is unprofessional.
That's how it's supposed to be.
I'm leaving. Good day, sir.
Well, let's just talk.
Do you even know who I am?
Talk. You mentioned something cool happened last Friday.
Oh.
Let's talk about it before we forget.
Yeah. Not Friday, sorry. Tuesday. Last Tuesday, me and Phil, our guitarist, were at the Gypsy. Phil plays there every Tuesday, no matter what. I used to do the same thing, but I've stopped for a while because I'm focusing on my solo album. And
Pretentious!
I'm also focusing on Mr. Rogers. I got some pretentious cocksucker and an overachiever. So, I'd rather be an overachiever and a pretentious cocksucker than the lazy motherfucker. So, who cares? Hey, that rhymed. Maybe we'll make that into a song. Or a fucked up Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah.
So, Phil was performing, and I was sitting down talking with my friend Blake. His name is Blake McBride. He's in Native Strange, and they're a great local indie rock band, and honestly, they're fantastic. And I've interviewed them before on my podcast. But I was hanging out with him and his girlfriend, and this guy came up to us, and he said to me, "Hey, man, we're really looking forward to you guys playing tonight." And I'm like, "Who? Mr. Rogers?" And he's like, "Yeah, aren't you guys going to play tonight?" I'm like, "Well, we haven't really played in like almost a month. We've kind of just been focusing on writing music." And he's like, "Oh, dang, we all came to see you." And I'm like, "You all?" And he points to the back. There's like fucking 8 people in the back room.
It said 15.
No, but the other 7 were outside.
Okay.
There were 8 people in the back room, and then like more people came into the room, and there's like a shit ton of people in there, and they all came to see Mr. Rogers. And so I'm like, "Hey, will you guys hold on one moment?" And so I go to get Phil. I'm like, "Phil, you're not going to believe this shit. Come look at it." He doesn't know what he's going to see because I always show him weird shit, and tell him weird shit, and also gay stuff. But so like gay things, like I'm like, "You want to give me a little kiss?" And he'll be like, "I don't know how I feel about that. Probably." And I'm like, "Oh, so probably?" And he's like, "A flat no, probably."
Dude, that's definitely
Phil sometimes does not know how to respond to me. Anyway, so we go back there to the back room. And I'm like, hey guys, this is the guitarist. And they're like, oh, hey man. And they all know him and shit. And he's like, Phil's like, what the fuck? I'm like, these guys came here to see us. And he's like, Mr. Rogers? I'm like, yeah. And so I told them, you know guys, we'll play a set for you. Me and Phil will be Mr. Rogers for tonight. We'll play a Mr. Rogers set. And so we did. And those people loved it. And yeah, it was pretty cool that we had a lot of people come to see us. And after we were done playing, the Gypsy just cleared out.
So it was just the two of you.
Yeah.
How'd that go as opposed to
having the whole band? Well, it was me and Phil and our friends Darren Edwards and I forget Neil's last name, but they're in a band called Acoustic Freight Train, and we've been jamming with them forever. And they basically have down the way that we play and the way that we jam, and we just feed off of each other really well. We blend together really well, and we just played a set, and you know, it turned out pretty good.
Yes.
We're pretty happy about it. And this week we're going to be playing. This Friday we'll be playing at the Gypsy. We'll have a 2-hour set.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of time
Definitely.
to wank off a lot.
Yeah, to basically pull shit out of our ass. And,
which is all this band is.
that really. Well, we're writing music.
True.
Yeah,
but music
right,
that
but
we pull out of our ass.
Well, that's all music. You pull it out, you structure that shit, and then it becomes a big pile of shit, and then that big pile of shit just forms into one big giant shit, and so you got that shit right there, and you tell people, hey, check out my shit.
Bam.
Bam. That's how you write a song.
So yeah, Gypsy this Friday with Space Eyes. We're not gonna get into Space Eyes.
Yeah, no, we're not going to.
No, it's for a different time. We can go on and on. But Space Eyes will be there. Opening, in quotes.
It is
for,
opening.
For Mr. Rogers'
me.
Intergalactic Sexual
It
Experience.
really is me opening because I have a shorter set than them. And, you know.
See, I just
Trevor's just mad because he doesn't have a solo project. If he did have a solo project, it would be just with his fucking kazoo.
I mean, you know.
And drums. You'd be like Moondog, except you'd suck.
Oh,
and he was
dude.
blind.
Oh shit, dude. Man.
That's harsh. That's harsh.
I'm just gonna ignore that. Anyways, we're playing this Saturday for the Halloween backyard
Festival
fest thing with
Obscure Sanity. Less Than Human.
Yeah. Who else is playing?
Extreme Isolation, Nocturnal Winter,
Violent Victim, and now
who else? We're forgetting one.
Warrior
Youth. That's it.
Jinx.
They weren't important enough. Anyway, but
no, they're very important.
They're very important. They're
Warrior
cool.
Youth.
Jacob Davis was the former bassist. Is a former bassist of Obscure Sanity. He's
Anyways, this is a third
Halloween Fest.
Yeah, third installment of that. And it's always free, and it gets bigger and bigger every year, and it's just on a stage built in the backyard here in
Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful
and I've
Arrow.
played all three of them. I played the first one as Volition, I played the second one as my Dark Ambient solo project, the Black Star Experience, and I'm going to play it with Mr. Rogers this year, and that's pretty great. And we were actually, people like, because whenever he messaged us and asked, we were like, oh, he finally came around. He asked us, but it said by popular demand, Mr. Rogers. So people asked for us to play.
Yeah, whenever, kind of around the time it was announced, that's when we formed, and I was just I just kept posting. I was just like, hey Elijah, I'm in a band called Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience, and we love to play. And then he's just like, nothing happened. Then by popular demand,
Mr. Rogers. Intergalactic Sexual Experience.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty great, and I was pretty happy because I really wanted to play that, and I felt like it was the best place for Mr. Rogers to start out. And, we're pretty excited about it, and we're ready, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the live show itself. Is everything freeform and just...
It happens?
No, or is it structured at all beforehand?
Yeah, we come up with a riff beforehand, and Daniel, our bassist, David Nicholas, our keyboardist, Phil, our guitarist, and Rylan will come up with a riff, and we'll build off of that riff, and they'll tell Ricky, okay, we're going to be in this time signature, and sometimes I'll go in and I'll say, well, let's do this, that, and that, and then we'll go into this, and, it just depends. We just come up with random riffs, and that's why we always change our sound so much.
And Dakota's kind of like, in a live setting, Dakota's kind of like a conductor with the musicians, because it's like mainly with like me and Ricky, because Ricky's playing drums, I'm kind of playing along with him. I don't know how to explain, but anyways.
He, whenever we just recently started doing it, but beforehand, it would be Trevor playing kazoo, and he also runs samples that we make ourselves together, and sometimes Trevor just makes them by himself, and they're running in the background, and they're kind of supposed to fill in the empty spaces, and I'll basically be on stage, and I'll say, okay, speed it up, hit it harder, or louder, or I'll turn down someone else's amp so that you can hear this guy do a solo, or I'll tell him, like, okay, let's slow it down.
Or he'll do, like, this thing that means make me harder, daddy, you know?
Or I'll,
that's a good one. I like that.
Or I'll point my thumb at my ass, and that means shoved up your ass, Trevor.
Yeah.
Or I'll do this, I'll do the dick in my mouth gesture.
Yes, lots of gestures used for our live performance.
Yes, lots of them. And sometimes, like, I don't know, I just lose it. Like, I'm just in my own world sometimes, and I kind of, like, I don't know. Like, kind of a almost spiritual kind of zone out.
It's an out-of-body experience, like, fuck Buddhism and all that shit. Like, being frontman of a band called Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience.
So are you okay? Or are you good with taking direction from him?
I'll just see what he's doing, and I'll try to figure out what that means, and I'll do the best I can.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that. We just recently started incorporating a second drummer, and he's the second drummer.
Oh, shit, what up?
And sometimes we're going to try at these shows, I'm going to switch off on vocals and go to percussion, and he's going to switch off on vocals.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes and go to percussion. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be good. And I think a lot of people will like it. It's something new, and we're always keeping people on their toes, and I think that's what we're trying to do in Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that was my next... What is that?
Oh, this.
Let's talk about that.
This mug is a less than human mug that was given to me as a birthday present from my friends in Less Than Human.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. And what I drink from this mug is Jack Daniels with Coke. Jack Daniels. Oh, wait, I said that.
Jack Daniels?
I'm trying to think of other drinks.
I
swear to God, I've drank other things out of this.
Apple juice?
No. Water?
High C fruit punch?
Close. I drink Clementine Bay out of this. So that's it. Okay. Clementine Bay. Nope, not water. Sorry. So just Clementine Bay, Jack Daniels, and Limmy's, which is just Jack and Coke. But
that's
fuck
right.
you. It's a Limmy. It's the industry term now, motherfuckers. We're gonna call them Limmy's. Go fuck yourself. So I drink alcohol. That's it. There you go. I drink alcohol out of this mug every fucking day. Okay.
Congratulations.
I'll stop when I want.
I can stop anytime.
I can stop anytime I please. Damn it.
So is this like a special for you, or do they make these and sell them, or do you know?
They make these mugs and sell them at every show.
Okay.
So if you guys want one, you can get one yourself and buy them. I don't know how much they are. This was given to me as a birthday present.
Those are great.
They are great. They're really amazing.
He's in the cork on it's got their little emblem.
Yeah.
It's super fucking smart, too.
It really is. It really is cool. It's honestly one of the coolest birthday presents I ever got. Oh, and Chase Adsit and Brittany Graves, they got me a bottle of Jack Daniels for my birthday as well. And Brittany gave me a shot glass, and it's the first shot glass I was ever given as a birthday present. And it says "hot for cock," and it's got a rooster on it. But it doesn't say the word cock; it's just the rooster. So you get it, "hot for cock," and it's red, so like hot tamales. You know?
Oh boy.
Okay, so let's talk about the name. Where did the name come from?
Let me do this, Dakota. I know you
preface this real quick with try to avoid this question because it's pretty cliche, but
Yeah,
No,
I wish
it's
we had
okay.
we
It's
that.
think you
it's
guys
an
deserve to
interesting-
talk about this because of this
It's
name.
a very interesting way that it started out. I'll tell the first half.
Okay.
I just wanted to throw that in.
It started out that I was going to play the Gypsy as Space Eyes, and I just wanted to jam with Daniel, who's our bassist, and he's one of my best friends, and I love jamming with him, and he knows how to feed off of me, and I know how to feed off of him.
Gay.
Yeah, I just want his, I just want a big bite of Daniel right now. But, what happened was I said, okay, we need to come up with a name to put on our set because I'm not just going to call ourselves Daniel Dakota. And so I said, let's call ourselves Goat Communion or some shit like that, something evil. And he's like, no, let's call ourselves Mr. Rogers Actually Kills Kids. And so I thought we were going to call ourselves Mr. Rogers Actually Kills Kids. And when we got there, I thought it was going to be Mr. Rogers Actually Kills Kids. But then Daniel and Trevor started talking, and this is how it happened. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, so like me and Daniel were talking, and then I was just like, "Hey, how about Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experiment?" And then Dakota was like, "How about Experience?" And then we were like, "All right, cool. So Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual
Mr.
Experience."
Rogers, not Mr. Rogers is.
Well, it's
You're wrong.
it's possessive. I don't know English. Continue. Yeah.
I love you, Trevor. He
But-
didn't say it back.
Oh, yes. I love you too, man. But yeah, that's how the name came about. And, like, I was at the Gypsy, and I was there to see him, and I coincidentally brought my beloved kazoo.
And I said, let's fucking do it.
So, like, literally just bass, drums, and vocals, and then kazoo, and I was just, like, standing there, like...
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was...
And that was like it actually sounded like a real song too,
Yeah.
structured and everything.
And then, like, people went over to us afterwards, and they were like...
Like,
Hey, yeah, they were like, "Hey, do you guys have a Facebook page or something?" We were like, "No." Or it's like, "Should we?"
and then like a week later, we started realizing we were getting bigger because people were recognizing us and shit. And so we just made a Facebook page, and it got like, was it like 100 likes in 1 week or some shit?
Yeah, that's because we were like annoying people the
Yeah.
fuck out of it, but that's okay.
And then after that, like we started getting like likes from people we didn't even know that we're not even friends with.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's been getting bigger since, and we're pretty happy about it because like one time our drummer, he was at the Melvins concert, and he heard some guys beside him, and he looked over and they're like, "That's the drummer for Mr. Rogers' Sexual Experience," and he didn't say anything because one, he's shy, and two, I guess he didn't want him to hear that he was eavesdropping. And I've heard people like call me out like in like it's only happened to me 3 times, but like people have said, "Hey, Mr. Rogers," and I'm like, "I'm not Mr. Rogers."
It's like when people call Leonard Skinner the guy.
Yeah.
You're now...
Man,
Or
I
Molly
love
Hatchet, a girl.
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner, I love him.
Or when you call
Led Zeppelin, guy.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it? I like
when you
his...
call Chuck Schuldiner Death, and you're like, "No, the band is Death. Chuck Schuldiner is Chuck Schuldiner." Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's
how it's done. That's how the name came about.
yeah.
So it didn't have a deep meaning for you?
No,
Actually, no. It has a deep meaning.
it's very
it's
very spiritual for us.
It's very spiritual.
It's very personal. We'd not like to talk about it.
See,
right
we're
now.
part of a religion called Harambeism.
We fucking love Harambe. When we started seeing the memes, we just thought, hey, let's turn this bullshit into a religion. There's already a bunch of stupid motherfuckers with different religions, so let's see how many we can pull in.
Might as well.
Yes.
I'm
Exactly.
almost done with this mug. Holy shit. I may have a problem. Anyway.
I've got some Jesse James whiskey and some Crown Royal, but no Jack.
You had me excited for a moment. Anyway.
Well, go way back, like, not way back, it's not like you guys are old, but like, how'd you get into heavy music, Because a lot of kids these days aren't, so
Yeah.
where did it start for each of you?
I was raised... See, my dad, raised me on The Police, Rush, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Queen, and then, the heavier stuff he played me for, because he never really, grew up on heavy metal. It was more just radio rock stuff, but, the heavier stuff he raised me on was, Alice in Chains, and, who else am I thinking of? Yeah, I guess Alice in Chains. But yeah, just pretty much just like basically like classic stuff, and then like I really got into I just kind of got into it myself, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, there's this band called Iron Man." He's like, "Yeah, I saw him." I'm like, "Whoa, why didn't you play him for me like ever?" But like as far back as I can remember, like I think the first time I remember like really liking music was like being like 6 years old and going camping with my dad and listening to the Exit Stage Left album from Rush in his truck. So like from there it went to this disaster known as Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience.
But where did you start getting into the extreme metal?
Oh, extreme music, yes.
I mean, that's like how I was too. Like my dad.
Yeah, well, I just kind of like delved into it.
No,
yeah.
I'm saying I'm agreeing with you. Like, but my dad, like, he introduced me to Elvis Presley. He showed me Johnny Cash. He showed me like if we're talking rock, he showed me Elvis Presley. He showed me Buddy Holly. He showed me Johnny Cash. I know Johnny Cash is considered country nowadays, but back then he wasn't called country. He was called rock and roll.
Yeah.
And then after that, my dad started showing me Black Sabbath. He showed me Pink Floyd. He showed me Rush. That's a mutual like influence that me and Trevor have. And then he showed me Nirvana and Soundgarden and Alice in Chains and Metallica. But he only showed me the hits and stuff. He never showed me like their albums and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, he played like full Rush albums, and he would play like the greatest hits of Elvis and all that. But I didn't. I eventually got out of that and just started listening to the whole albums and stuff like that. And then this is how we got into extreme metal, Trevor.
Yeah. I just kind of like delved into it just from like because my dad shared with me his subscription to Rhapsody, which is a music streaming service. Yeah, that's kind of like I just kind of like browsed on there. I just like and like when I remember when I was like 10, I like stumbled upon Immortal, and I was just like, this is too much. I like stumbled, and then I stumbled upon like Cannibal Corpse. I don't know how. I think because like I saw someone like wearing a shirt somewhere or something, and then I like stumbled upon it myself, and it's just like fucked with a knife, and I was just like, oh man, that's
edgy. Well, actually, that's not what I thought. Whenever I first heard Cannibal Corpse, I thought, this is fucking brutal. Like, this is intense. I've never heard anything like this. Yeah. And I got into like the extreme part of metal. Like, I was playing Saints Row 2, and on Saints Row 2 they have a metal station. I forgot what it's called, but the host of it was Corndog, and I wanted to hear it. It's just, I don't know who the fuck it is, the guy voicing it, but he's pretty funny, and I would listen to it. But then like I heard, like, and whenever I hear metal, I just skip and go to the rap station. But then I just listened to one song, and that was Colony of Birchman by Mastodon.
Uh-huh.
And I got into Mastodon, and Mastodon became one of my favorite metal bands. And then I found Opeth on there, and I found Goat Whore, found 3 Inches of Blood. I was a 3 Inches of Blood fanboy for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then after 3 Inches of Blood, I found who was that on there? Shit. Black Dahlia Murder. And then after that, I just started going out, and I found Cannibal Corpse, found Slayer, I found God damn it, kill me, Mayhem. Speaking of kill me, Mayhem. Yeah. Dead. Yeah. Anyway, Mayhem. Then I found Immortal and Gorgoroth, and I just really started getting into black metal, and like that's like my favorite genre of metal, honestly. But like, yeah, I found other metal bands and stuff like that, and it was really cool, and I was happy to find those bands because they just kind of filled that hole that I was looking for.
Yeah, I just like, ever since like I started listening to music, I was just like, I want more, I just like kept wanting to discover like what more is there? Like, is it like this? Is it not? Blah, blah, blah. I want to listen to it all, Yeah. I still am to this day. I'm still like really curious about music I haven't listened to, and
Yeah. And one of the things is about me and Trevor is that like we listen to metal, and that's where we started off with getting into music that not a lot of people listen. Well, a lot of people do listen to metal, but getting into the music that's like different and that, you know, most people, I guess you would say, don't really listen to. Like, I found...
Sunn?
No.
Oh.
I didn't find them yet. But, like, whenever I found a weird band, it was Porcupine Tree.
Yeah.
And that was, like, my first step into figuring out, like, about progressive rock. And whenever I started listening to Porcupine Tree, what I always do is I go to my favorite artists' Wikipedia pages and read about them and stuff whenever I was bored, whenever I was a little kid. And I found that Steven Wilson was a big fan of King Crimson. And so I started listening to King Crimson.
Boy, don't even get me started on King Crimson.
Like, me and Trevor are huge King Crimson fans. So is Ricky. And, you know, we go nuts.
Yeah,
for
that's...
King Crimson.
In terms of music influences and this specific project, I'd say I'm definitely very influenced. And it's really music I listen to a lot is, like, just the progressive kind of music as well as, like, just experimental stuff and just... Even, like, improv-y stuff like John Coltrane and, like, Grateful Dead and just all that. Like, that, I keep saying that about us. I keep saying, like, we're going to go down in history as one of the world's greatest improvers. We're going to go down in history, John Coltrane and Grateful Dead.
We really love John Coltrane. Like, me and him have listened to A Love Supreme 3 times?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we listened. I have it on vinyl, and I'll bring it over to the house sometimes, and we'll listen to it. And one of my favorite improv bands is the Grateful Dead. I love Jerry Garcia. He's amazing. He's an amazing guitarist, and he has a great technique, or had a great technique because he's dead. But then there's Sunn. Sunn is one of my biggest influences. And one of the reasons that I like them, a lot of people when they listen to Sunn, they hear just noise. But if you listen to it, they're playing like different notes and stuff. They're just playing really, really slow. And they really take their time with the tone of their guitars because the effects pedals they have, it's all distortion, it's all fuzz, it's all overdrive, and it's reverb pedals and delay pedals. And they also have Moog synthesizers, and they really take their time structuring their songs, even for live shows, because they play the song Agartha, which is from their album Monoliths and Dimensions. And that's the first song I ever heard by them, and it was just... I am by no means a religious person, but it was very spiritual for me listening to that song, especially wearing headphones in the dark.
Wow.
And when the first Sunn album I actually listened to was their collaboration with Ulver, and we've listened to it, and he knows that's one of my favorite albums because that entire album is all improv. They recorded it and played it all on the spot.
Wow. It's
all recorded, and it's called Terrestrials, and I suggest to the people that are listening to this right now, check that album out, Ulver and Sunn, Terrestrials. It's a really great it's a really great album. It's only got 3 songs on it.
Also,
it's great to listen
Soused by Sunn and Scott Walker.
Yes, another one of my favorite, and Trevor's, one of our favorite artists, Scott Walker, who's a solo artist. He's extremely experimental and very dark, and just...
He has this amazing, legendary baritone voice.
Yeah, and I introduced him to them with the album Soused, and it opens up with the track Brando, and it's about Marlon Brando, and it's just a really intense album. And if you are into creepy, dark, very unsettling but heavy as hell music, listen to Soused. I'm not gonna promise that you'll listen to it immediately and start liking it, but I will say it'll be interesting to listen to. And it's one of those albums where you either love it or you hate it. So
Well, it's funny you mentioned Sunn. I've seen that name for years. I've never really heard a lot of them.
Yeah.
And, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard, aren't there live shows it's like ear-splittingly fucking loud?
Yes, I've been to their show.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's like it was Boris, Sunn, and Sleep, and that's like a legendary lineup. That's a once-in-a-lifetime lineup. Yeah. And I went there down to Austin with my friend Savannah, and we went down there, and when we listened to Sunn, and it was like words can't describe. Like whenever you're just, even if you're in the back, you can feel because they're very bass heavy. That's what most of their music is about, heavy bass, and you can feel it in your chest, and you can basically breathe a frequency. And it's honestly like, if you don't like Sunn on their albums, if you go to a show, like seriously, you'll be hooked, but you'll basically be like those people who have their mind blown when they feel like they've found the truth because they're chasing the high of having their mind blown. But except with Sunn, you're chasing the high of seeing Sunn live and experiencing Sunn live. Thankfully, I'm not hooked. I'm just hooked on Sunn in general.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Did you feel the bass tickle your genitals?
I felt it in my prostate.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah. I don't know how I got up there, but
Very great.
it was great. It was fucked.
Sorry, that was off topic.
No, it wasn't. We
Okay.
were talking about Sunn at the concerts.
That's right, yeah.
Well, you mentioned, a lot of stuff you two have in common. You mentioned Ricky liking King Crimson as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that all 7 guys have in common?
We're
all a bunch of faggots.
Yeah.
We love, I'm only half gay, but these guys, they love the cat.
We love the kick.
But, no, like, we all love Black Sabbath. Like, that's, like, the common ground for all of us. We love Black Sabbath and Jimi Hendrix. And
Just like...
And we also like, who was it?
Stuff? Things?
Music?
Music?
We like music, that's it.
We like hands?
We all like, we're big fans of Jimi Hendrix and Black Sabbath. Like, as a band together, we love Black Sabbath and we love Jimi Hendrix. But
obviously our music sounds nothing like them.
No, it does.
Well,
it does.
Well,
when you listen to it, like, you just gotta find, because we're blending, you gotta understand, we have different members with different backgrounds and different tastes in music. Like, our keyboardist is classically trained. And he, like...
Classically potty trained.
That joke sucked. You could have done better.
Okay, continue.
But David's classically trained, and he's a big fan of Bach and Webern. He loves Edgar Winter. He's a big Edgar Winter fan. I've never met an Edgar Winter fan before, but he loves it. And then Daniel's also self-taught with music theory, and he loves Cannibal Corpse. That's one of his favorite death. That's honestly the band that got him started on theory. And he also loves Pink Floyd. He's a big Alice in Chains fan. And then Phil's self-taught. He knows tablature, but he doesn't really know theory all that well. He knows like what keys to play in and all
But
that.
it doesn't matter because he's fucking good.
Yeah, Phil's fucking amazing. But Phil's like Jimi Hendrix, the White Stripes, Nirvana. He likes Sabbath. And, he's just more like I guess you would say like kind of psychedelic rock.
Yeah.
Alternative rock and heavy metal based. And Ricky loves the Beatles. If the Beatles were one person and they had a dick, Ricky would suck it.
Yeah, I know a few people like that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, no, seriously, him and his girlfriend love the Beatles, and he bought his girlfriend a box set of all the Beatles albums, and he has a lunchbox of the Beatles.
We'll just leave it. He really likes the Beatles, so
Really likes them, and he also loves Kiss. Huge Kiss fan.
Not only that, but he's really he's taking music theory right now, and he's in jazz too, and he really knows his stuff, and like what's cool about me playing drums along with him is that I feel like we both can read each other's minds, because when we were jamming the other day.
You guys were on point.
Yeah, we were on point. Like, I wasn't even, like, looking at him or anything. I was just, like, everything just, like, felt right. Like, it flowed well, and...
Yeah, we've come a long way to where we finally feel comfortable with each other and we know where we're going to go. And, even though, like, I'll play band leader, it's really just to, like, it's more of, like, I'm kind of composing and telling, okay, quiet down, okay, you play your part and stuff, and we just said, it's really good that we've come a long way to where we can feed off of each other.
Yeah.
And we know where we're all coming from. Oh, speaking of, working off of each other, our newest, the newest band member is Mr. Ryland Brockett. He is our saxophonist. He plays tenor and alto sax, and he also plays trombone. We don't know if we're going to work trombone into this set, but we'll try. But he plays tenor and alto sax, and his influences on tenor and alto sax are Cannonball Aldrin. Alderley, Cannonball Alderley, and John Coltrane. And he is a phenomenal saxophonist. Ryland has always been an amazing saxophonist, and I've always wanted to play in a band with him, and he's always kicked ass every time he's played with us. We've only played twice, but he kicked ass.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Everyone loved the saxophone. And that's the third time we played with a saxophonist. The first time, it was our second time playing together. It was at open mic, and there was a saxophonist there, and we asked if he wanted to play with us, and he's like, yeah, sure. And it was ambient rock.
It was really dark, and we used the sample that me and him put together. It's a Lou Reed sample, and we call it Lewis.
Yeah.
And we took it from this interview, and the interviewer is like, "Are you homosexual or transvestite?" And he's like, sometimes. And we put reverb on it, and then there's some parts where he's talking about drugs.
And they ask him, "Do you do drugs?" He's like, "No." And he's what does he say? Oh yeah, he's like, "Do you do drugs?" And he's like, "No." And he's like,
"I think the government's out to get me."
Yeah, he's saying, because I think the government is plotting against me.
Yeah, something like that.
And he's like, I got checked at the airport, and he's like, they're like, why? He's like, because they thought I had drugs. He's like, do you do drugs? He's like, no, I don't. And then he said something else, but then he's like, oh yeah, I do drugs. And then they're like, why? He's like, it's something to do. He's like, and that's the thing we love about Lou Reed. He just fucks with journalists. He's so inconsistent with the things that he tells them, mainly because he just doesn't want to do the interviews.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my personal influences, as well as I know that he's an influence on Dakota.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely kind of try to incorporate his sound into what we have in any way I can. I don't know, I just incorporate a lot of influences, but
we really do. One of my biggest influences is Michael Jura of Swans. I'm a big Swans fan, and all the guys can tell you. I really, whenever I'm playing Mr. Rogers' music, I'm always the vocalist, and I kind of get this spiritual vibe, and I've told people before, if I had a god, it'd be music. And, because music doesn't judge, music doesn't
edgy.
care. Seriously, I'm not joking. But if I think everyone should consider music a god, because music doesn't judge, music doesn't discriminate, music isn't prejudice. Music's for everyone, and everyone can enjoy music, and music doesn't care if you don't like it or not, because it knows that you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the influence behind our joke of a band.
And Harambe.
Well, how would you describe the band to someone? You say you got some average fan that just likes crap on the radio, that doesn't really know what
Mr. Rogers is?
Let me handle this, Dakota.
Hold on, wait.
Anything
I want to say the
He's
thing.
not finished asking the question.
I
I was just going to say,
Stop, you silly rat.
our friend,
a lot of people just like a lot of generic shit.
yeah.
So I'm just saying, how would you
Space
explain
Ice.
this
Well,
to people that don't delve into this area of music?
Well, we have a friend, his name is Treston Lamb. He's in a local black metal band called Nocturnal
They're
Winter.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, anyways, he called us experimental mindfuck.
And we've kind of just stuck with that as our genre name. Because really, you can't call us experimental rock. Because sometimes we don't even play rock. Sometimes we'll blend jazz, funk, and
then
what other thing did we blend?
And last time we jammed, it was punk. Whenever I got vocals, and I was just ah!
Well, we were practicing.
Well, we were
practicing.
It got
into this weird tribal punky thing.
Yeah.
And then the other time, like, okay, first show we played, it was like funky sludge metal, and then the second time we played, it was like jazz and ambient,
and you did like
post rock, and with black metal vocals.
I was about to say you did like some really aggressive vocals.
Yeah.
Too.
And the first song that we jammed together on, I called that Ted Cruz because it was about Ted Cruz. I remember the lyrics. It said, "Do you want to fall down? Do you want to die alone? Because it's coming your way, and there's not going to be much of you left." Because it's talking about how like less and less kids in our generation are Christians.
Yeah.
More kids, not more kids, more people in my generation believe in evolution than they do creationism. I'm so happy about that. Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
So like back to
but back to the music.
Yeah. Actually, I submitted us to the Tulsa Overground Festival.
Shit,
online.
Man, we probably shouldn't have told anyone that.
Oh, I don't care. Anyways, yeah, I submitted us and it was like, what kind of music do you play? And I put experimental mindfuck.
And that is how we're not going to play.
And then I put a comma and I put avant-garde.
Avant-garde.
Yeah, that's good.
I guess that'd make more sense.
You could call us avant-garde, you could call us like experimental metal, experimental rock, but it doesn't really fit.
You can call us dubstep. I don't give a shit.
I would
call us whatever you want.
I'm not fucking.
You can call us Hannah Montana, gent, free jazz, Captain Beefheart,
Dick and balls, chicken and
you can call us whatever. You know,
I don't give a shit. Okay, because look, man, when you come to our show, here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna play whatever. We're gonna be weirdos, and you'll either hate us or you'll like us. But I'm probably gonna make you laugh, and you're probably going to glare at me for making some really weird jokes. Because sometimes, like, the jokes we make on stage are bad sometimes. Like, I've told some Jew jokes before.
I told some 9/11 jokes.
Yeah, you told 9/11 jokes. And, like, they mainly do it to me because I'm fucking part Jewish. Anyway, and they're like, tell a joke, Dakota. And I'm like, what's the difference between Anne Frank and Boy Scouts?
Boy Scouts come back.
The Boy Scouts came back from camp. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And what was one of the 9/11 jokes that you did?
I was like, I don't want to tell a 9/11 joke.
Too late.
Okay. It was like, why are Americans bad at chess?
Why?
Because they can't defend their towers.
Zing!
Yeah. So anyways, like, we'll like have fun with, he'll have fun with like the crowd and stuff. And,
yeah.
And he likes to dress up weird, and like I'm gonna dress up weird for these upcoming shows, and who knows, maybe that might just be my look for all our shows. But.
Yeah, like one of the things that I did to get people's attention is like the first show I dressed up as a woman. I dressed in drag.
He looked like Lord.
Yeah, I am Lord. I actually didn't look like Lord.
Well,
I looked like I got more Frankenfurter than I did Lord, and I'd rather be Frankenfurter.
Well, it looked like a Lord outfit, so we should cover Royals. We should totally do that.
You're pushing the envelope.
It's already been covered a few times.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be original.
Get away from me. We can cover Ribs. I love that song. I actually do like Lord, for the record.
Yeah.
Lord is one of my favorite artists.
Tell him what you dressed up as for the second show.
I dressed up in
He was a furry.
A furry? Is that
a furry.
I dressed up in a fucking suit, and I had a wolf mask on, and I had my friend Savannah paint my corpse paint, and I was wearing the wolf mask, and no one knew what was underneath there, and everyone was kind of staring at me the entire time while I was wearing the wolf mask. And then while I was playing, I took it off, and the whole audience like gasped. Like, ooh, and I'm like, you never seen corpse paint? I didn't say that. I was singing and performing and shit, but I took it off, and everyone like was like, ooh, wow, and whatever. And then I wear different outfits sometimes. Recently, I haven't been. It's too much of a hassle. But this show, you will see me wearing an outfit.
Yeah, these shows actually, yeah.
These upcoming shows, you will see me wearing an outfit.
Oh, I'm gonna look really sexy too.
Yeah, you're gonna look dead sexy.
Yeah.
All the guys are gonna want you, and all the ladies are gonna want to be you.
Totally.
Wait a minute, that was backward. No, that was the right way. That was the right way.
You know it, man.
That was the right way. I think it's the same way with me. All the ladies will want to be me because I look like a woman, and
because you'll have awesome makeup.
I will have awesome makeup, very much so. And then
I got some shorts, some like really short like shorts that
Like my ass shorts.
that moms would wear when they go work out at Curves or something. I bought those from Old Navy, and I bought like $3 sunglasses with it, and then I'm gonna like wear this top, and then I'm gonna like I want to get like purple glitter too, and like get all over my body and just like dance like this. And
Are you gonna grind on some people?
No,
Are you gonna ask them for a dollar dance?
No, that's sexual harassment. I mean, I'm not.
No, it's not. You're a stripper.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I thought I saw you at Lady Godiva's.
No.
No. That was some ugly bitch.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can grind like Darling Nikki.
Zing. Anyway, but yeah, one of the what?
No. Oh, go on what you're gonna say because I was gonna totally change the subject.
No, I was gonna change the subject too. I wanted to talk about one of our some of the song titles that are on SoundCloud.
Oh yes,
a lot of people wonder what those song titles mean, and they actually do mean something. But yeah, tell them what the songs are called. If you can remember them. If not,
we have Bedoused.
No, Bedalist.
Bedalist ridden corpses or something. What is it?
Bedalist riddled corpses. Rhonda is my Patronus. Indiana Drones and Californian Anatomy. And Bedalist riddled corpses is named that because that part in the song it kind of feels like walking music, and whenever me and Savannah were in Dallas to see Swans, we went to Dealey Plaza and we saw where JFK was assassinated. And as we were going back to my car, we saw this rotting, like it was either a possum or a rat. We couldn't tell, but you could see its skeleton and stuff. And I called the song "Dallas Riddled Corpses" because we had seen, like, we went to Dallas mainly for Swans, and we saw a place where someone who is a corpse now died, and we saw a possum/rat corpse, and it just kind of inspired me. And so I called it Dallas Riddled Corpses. And then the next song, which they're two separate songs,
but they're all together.
They're all together. They're recorded at the same
Which are on
time.
SoundCloud. Listen. Anyways,
they're on SoundCloud. Mostly harmless. Go get it. Anyway, the second song is called "Rhonda is My Patronus," and when Phil started playing that riff, I'd heard him play that riff before, the Gypsy, and it was when mine and his friend Rhonda, who she's a very good friend of mine. I love her very dearly. I don't know. I just, like, something came over me, and I just started singing these, screaming them. I started screaming these lyrics, and Trevor was playing kazoo along to it. And I was like just saying, "Save your body, save her body, save her body, save your body." Just kept repeating, "Save her body, save your body, and save her body." And it's talking about how one, like, Rhonda, my friend Rhonda, she's diagnosed with cancer, and that's kind of, when I got the news, it kind of hit me pretty hard. And I always think about her. I always worry about her. And those lyrics just came over my head, and it just made me think of Rhonda. And I just started screaming them. And she liked it. And whenever she started hearing those lyrics, I guess she knew what they meant. Because it's about saving Rhonda, and it's about saving people from cancer. Because I've had a lot of family members die from cancer. I've had a lot of friends die from cancer. And, it's just talking about, like, save these people, stay healthy and stuff, try and prevent cancer. And if you listen to Taylor Swift, you're just going to get cancer, so I suggest stop listening to shit. But anyway, in all seriousness, so yeah, that's what that song is about. And then the track, Indiana Drones. Indiana Drones is called Indiana Drones because it's a reference to the keyboardist and synthesist of 9 Inch Nails, who's one of mine and Phil's favorite bands. And my friend Savannah's ex, who I keep talking about, I love Savannah to death. She had this boyfriend, and he's from Indiana. He apparently thought I was he thought I was talking shit about him subliminally. because it said Indiana Drones, and I'm just like, no, it's a fucking reference to the keyboardist of Nine Inch Nails. Get over yourself, you piece of shit. God. And so, like, but it's also
Now
called
you're
that,
talking shit about him.
because he is a piece of shit. It's not talking shit if it's true. Anyway, he's going to hear this anyway. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, Nolan. Anyway, next thing is Californian Anatomy.
Yes.
Californian Anatomy is like that really fucking heavy part in a really... Because it's basically a drone track. But like when it gets to Californian Anatomy, it gets this like really cool like...
It builds up, and it's like... It's kind of like... In a way, I kind of compare it. It's like the song "A Saucer Full of Secrets" by Pink Floyd. Like in the Pompeii, it like builds up with the drums, like it just kind of builds up.
Yeah, it just builds up very progressively, and it's very organic too. Like, and we're just me and Trevor's playing kazoo, and I'm playing drums with Ricky, and it's just one drum set, and I'm just like playing the toms, and then I give them to Trevor, and Trevor's playing the toms, and we're just like.
We're just in Ricky's personal space.
Yeah, we're just in his personal space. Invading his personal space. Stay out of my personal space. Anyway. But it was pretty cool, and we're very happy about the way it came out, and we're probably going to release it soon, actually. Maybe. We don't know yet. We might we're not going to tell you what the EP is called, or should we tell them what it's called?
Yeah, it's called Kill Yourself with a Shower Curtain.
Yes, it's called Kill Yourself with a Shower Curtain, in case anyone couldn't keep up with how fast Trevor talks.
And the cover is like...
No. Don't tell them the cover yet.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin the cover. I want them to think about what the cover is. Seriously.
Okay.
Some people don't even know what it is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a pretty interesting cover. It's on SoundCloud. You can download it for free and shit. We're going to probably sell it at Starship. We can press it.
Yeah. Which Starship, we've been talking to some of the dudes at Starship and stuff. I even ran to, one day I ran to John from Machine the Mountain. I was just there, I was talking to him, I was like, yeah, I'm in this band called Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience. He's like, whoa, what? And I was like, yeah. I like showed him our logo, he's like, holy fuck, I haven't heard you guys, I want to play with you. And I was just like...
By namesake alone, people listen to our band.
Yeah.
And every time I show people it, they tell me one of three things. They tell me... This is really trippy, I like it a lot, or this is really weird and heavy, I don't usually listen to this kind of music, but I love it, or your music makes me want to trip acid. And I'm like, trip acid?
Yeah,
you mean drop acid?
And what's cool is that, like, I get, like, our friends at Less Than Human, like, they've listened to our stuff, and they always give us feedback, and they always... And most of the time, it's always good feedback. And just like, you're not just saying that because we're friends with you, right? Like, we actually mean it. It's just
they
like,
mean it.
and a band as good as them, it makes me feel like, hey, maybe we're like actually like doing something good. I don't know.
Yeah, and Chase Adsit brought a kazoo to their last show with Psycho Stick and played it, and as like a nod, like respect for Mr. Rogers, and that made us feel pretty good. Sorry, I forgot that we have like that. You guys do that whole thing where a band plays their music, like they send it to you. Well, we're gonna play a live set. Me and Trevor. We brought our instruments. I have a jug, as you can hear. Well, not here. You couldn't hear me drinking from it. But hold on, let me check.
Let me check my kazoo.
Yeah, you good? Whatever. Fuck it. Anyway, so yeah, we'll just I'll play the drum. I'll play the jug.
Okay, I'll do this.
Yourself.
There we go.
Yeah, that song is called "Fuck Yourself." You can hear it on the next. You can hear it on the next Mr. Rogers album. It's called Black Star.
That was all improv. See, we're gonna go down in history with the great improvers.
Yeah, very much so. I'm gonna. You make John Coltrane look like shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Mr. Coltrane.
Sorry, Mr. Coltrane. I know you can't
Wherever
hear
you
me.
are out there.
I know you can't hear me because you're dead. But
And then, like,
sorry.
kind of off note, but last time the full band, well, it was most of the band. The full band. Last time we jammed was Center of the Universe. Like, we just showed up to the.
No, that wasn't the whole band.
Well, I said
you
almost
said-
full band.
sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, anyways, yeah, we were supposed to play like our first like gig, and it got canceled. So we were like, well, we still want to do something. We still want to play for people. So we were just like, let's just show up to the center of the universe.
And we did.
So we did that, and people just like, nothing like really happened. People just like walked by and they were like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and whenever we were playing, like, people came.
Yeah.
People came, and they were hitting the hash.
It was fun because I got to like, I had a lot of room to like run around. I was running around in circles, playing my kazoo, getting dizzy, jumping up and down, and
I was doing the same thing.
And since like I was harmonizing with Rylan too, like the saxophone on the kazoo, it sounded spot on.
It sounded
spot on.
It sounded Gucci, man.
It was
that.
It was the bee's tits. That's what it was.
It was if bees had tits, yeah.
Yeah,
totally. Them bee titties, them bee cups. Anyway,
did you play the kazoo inside the middle of the center of the universe thing?
I didn't because we weren't.
Question.
We didn't want to get in the middle of the center because we knew that there were tourists and that's where tourists go in Tulsa a lot.
Yeah.
And plus, they couldn't really hear you on that side of it. Right?
Yeah.
No, not really. And like sometimes the tourists would be trying to like hear themselves. I'm like, no, you got to get low. Like I would tell them, you have to get low and do it because I know how it works and shit. But yeah, we played Center of the Universe and it was really fun. Phil couldn't play. You couldn't hear Phil.
Yeah, because he brought his acoustic and then we had like
it didn't work out.
Yeah, but you know what? It's still sounding great anyways.
Yeah.
And next we might do it again or something like it. Yeah. But next time we'll take better precautions.
We'll take a generator with us and a
surge
protector. And,
and we didn't contact anyone for the city for this, by the way. Like I told my dad this, and he was like, "How'd you do that?" I was like, "Oh, we just showed up."
You know what we did? We walked up the stairs. We set up our gear. And we tuned shit, and then we said, okay, what are we going to play? We figured out what we were going to play, then we started playing, no one gave a fuck. Yeah. That's how we did it.
But you know what? It was fun,
magic.
Because it was a Friday night, and our show was canceled.
Yeah, our show got canceled, and, shit happens, and, we still had a good time. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Our girlfriends were there.
Yeah.
And our friends were there, and it was... Random strangers were there who love us, and
and luckily it didn't rain on us because it was raining earlier that day, and we're just like, shit. What if it rains again? It's like, nope, it's not gonna rain on us again.
It's not gonna rain. Don't rain on my parade, you son of a bitch, nature.
Yep. Well, anyways, yeah, that was the Center Universe. It was fun.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions? Sorry, we got sidetracked.
Oh no, that's always good to get sidetracked.
Yeah.
I know I had one question. How many people have you offended with your do the Kurt Cobain
oh shit
Space Eyes song?
Okay, yeah.
Or is that do people just find it funny? Because I find it funny.
I think it's fucking great.
You're doing the Kurt Cobain!
Yeah, everyone actually loves the Kurt Cobain. It's one of my biggest songs, and I don't really know how many people I've offended. I just know that people have unfriended me for it. Yeah, we're going to try and actually learn to play that.
Yeah.
We're going to try to learn to play that for the Gypsy, because that's actually like a song that everyone knows about Space Eyes. Like, my biggest songs right now are Space Eyes, Beach House, Camo, which I just released, the Kurt Cobain, and Smoke. Those are my biggest songs. And everyone always says, like, play the Kurt Cobain, do the Kurt Cobain. And some people say, are you going to play Kurt Cobain? Or they'll say, are you going to play Doing the Kurt Cobain? I'm like, no, that's not the name. I'm not going to play it because you said that. I'm a dick. Anyway, but the only time I've ever had someone actually like message me, I don't remember their name. They're a punk or something. They're in the punk community. I don't give a fuck about them. Anyway, but I love the punks. I love hanging out with punks.
I love the punks.
I love the punks. I love the spirit of the punks. I love the motivation of the punks. I love how they never listen, except if your name is Johnny Rotten.
Talk about their food too.
Your food is... I don't know. I've never had your food. But I bet it's spiky.
I love their smell.
I bet it's got patches all over it. And I bet it's delicious. I hate the smell of you. I'm better than you. I'm richer than you. Make America great again. Anyway. Or make America punk again. Whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, so you think punks would actually want to vote for Donald Trump, since like they'd be voting for the guy that would give them more song ideas, you know, and kind of fuck everything up. But no, they're not.
Nope.
Anyway, I had this one guy, and he was a punk, and he messaged me, and apparently he was a really big fan of Kurt Cobain, and this is the first time I've ever talked about it because I just felt like no one would give a shit or believe me. But it's on record now, and you all are going to hear the story. So, it was about a month after I had released it, and my friend Alexis, she shared it on her page. That guy saw it, and he said, hey, you think it's funny to make fun of someone who's killed themselves? You think suicide is funny? You think that people, you think that his family likes that joke? You think that, you know, that's appropriate? And I said, well, Courtney Love is probably never going to see my song and probably won't give a shit. Secondly, yes, I think suicide is funny. Sometimes you got to make light of the things that are serious. Being someone who has survived suicide 3 times, yeah, I think it's pretty funny. And, you know, you got to learn to laugh at things like, you know, make fun of abortion, make fun of suicide, make fun of people dying. Fuck, man, we tell fucking Holocaust jokes and fucking 9/11 jokes. People have gone darker, okay? I saw a fucking meme where it said, when the Girl Scouts are better than the cookies, and it had a bloody condom. That's pretty fucking dark, and that's pretty fucked up, but it's not serious. It's just made to, like, get a rise.
It's meant to be edgy.
It's meant to be offensive. And if you are, like, taking it seriously, if you're taking serious what I'm saying, because in the song, it says, when your life is a pain and you have nothing to gain, just shoot some happiness into your veins and spread out your brains. If you feel like you're better off dead, and so far, kid, you've got it. Just take these 3 steps that I've said, and you'll be doing the Kurt Cobain. And he thought it was offensive. Being a punk, a fucking punk, that I told people to take heroin and kill themselves, even though I don't want them to. Seriously, like, fuck you people. I hope the people that are listening to this and listen to that song and get offended by it fucking hear it. Because fuck you, okay? I fucking hate you.
You know, I just
you ruined the fun and everything. You're a buzzkill. You're a party pooper. You're a fucking piece of shit. And I do hope you do the Kurt Cobain.
You know what? I just want to point out that guy was probably not even around for Kurt Cobain's suicide.
He probably wasn't.
So yeah,
I don't know how old he was, but I didn't give a shit.
He probably isn't.
I told him I don't care. I've already had like 10 people unfriend me on Facebook, and I don't give a shit. I knew that people were going to be offended. That's why I made it.
Yeah.
It's a song, okay? And you know, it's not meant to be taken seriously unless you're going to make a big deal about it. Then you probably should do it. You know,
exactly.
Just saying, you know, like put on a blonde wig or go to a hair salon and ask when they say, "Hey, what do you want? How do you want me to cut your hair?" Say, "Yeah, I'd like the Kurt Cobain." I promise you, they'll go back there, they'll get a shotgun, grab a syringe, grab a pound of that Vietnamese Bam Bam, and they'll smack that sucker right on the table with all that blue juice shit that they put their fucking scissors in and shit. And they'll just, you know, smack it down, and, you know, they'll fill that syringe right up for you, buddy. And, you know, just you get that final fix a boy, and, you know, you put that guy in your mouth, you got a Kurt Cobain haircut. There you go. Have fun. Yeah. Enjoy yourself, because I know I will.
And on that note.
Random side note.
On that note? Okay.
I'll admit, I don't like to admit whenever I love, you know, extremely popular stuff. Mm-hmm. But as I get older, I don't give a shit anymore. You know?
Yeah.
I love the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, same.
So, good for Kurt Cobain, because we got the Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Good on you, man. You didn't know it was going to happen. Or did you?
I mean, back on the Kurt Cobain thing, it was 20-something years ago. That means, since it was so long ago, it means it's funny now. Like that South Park.
Yeah, we got to wait
like,
20 years.
It's funny now.
Was it 20 years ago?
22.
22 years ago that he killed himself? Yeah, it's been 20 years. Get over it.
Yeah.
The Holocaust was 80-something years ago. Get over it. 9/11. 10 years ago. 10 plus years ago. We're getting to 20. Get over it.
Dude, that's edgy.
Oh, wait. No, it's 15 years ago. Yeah, we're almost there. Get over it.
So is 20 the threshold?
I guess.
I guess so. I guess.
I mean,
according to South Park, that AIDS episode, like, age is funny now, you know?
I mean, it kind of is. I mean, like, apparently it's not funny to say the word fag anymore, but I still say it because I know what I mean when I say it.
Yeah.
And, we still say it to each other.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You're a fag, Trevor.
You're a fag.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, man.
One of the things is that I want to say to people is, like, don't be afraid to come up to us after the shows. Hang out with us. We want to hang out with you. We want to see you. We want to have fun with you. We don't care. We love you guys, and we play this music not just for ourselves, but we play it for you because we like to play it for you. And we can't wait to see you guys at the Gypsy, and we can't wait to see you guys at Halloween Fest. And if you want to get in contact with us, just look us up, Mr. Rogers Intergalactic Sexual Experience. We have a Facebook, and we now have an Instagram. And if you just want to talk to the band members, hit me and Trevor up, and we'll show you a good time. Not the sexual way, but with our music. I mean, if you're a lady and you're looking for a good time, I'll be Peter Steele for a night. Yeah. I mean, I'll love you to death until 7 a.m. comes, and then you got to get out. I'm sure there's going to be like some feminists or some feminazi that's going to be like, oh my god, Dakota Harrington of Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience treats women like they're sexual objects. No. Stop trying to start shit where there ain't any.
But the woman must have milk white skin.
No,
yes.
I don't give a shit.
Hey, I'm trying to play into Peter Steele thing for you.
Milk white, yes.
And then on another typo note, we
love Typo Negative. That's another band we all love.
Yeah, that's right. And then whenever I think one set that we play at the Gypsy, we started off as a nod to Typo because we were like 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't want to live no more. We just started off like that.
We opened up with what's that song called?
Kill all the
Gravitational Constant.
Yeah, Gravitational Constant. We opened like we just did.
This was that part.
3, 4,
I mean, the Gypsy isn't no covers at all, but then we were just like,
fuck it.
Yeah, it's not really cover.
It's not really a cover. It's more of just a reference.
Yeah.
And plus, they wouldn't know.
They wouldn't.
Yeah.
One of the things is, this is what I want. I forgot. We forgot to talk about this. The first time we played at the Gypsy. Well, I guess no, there wasn't that many people there. But first and second time we played at the Gypsy, we blew them away because they never heard there's never any heavy music at the Gypsy. There's
or interesting music.
Native Strange is good.
I'm kidding. There's good artists.
Phil's badass.
Adonis is badass.
Adonis Alessi. Look up Adonis Alessi. He is amazing.
And he's also fabulous. I love him.
He is fabulous. He's got great fashion sense, and he always dresses up in drag, and he's a beautiful man. He's very funny, and he's a very sweet person. You'll love him to death. Please check out these bands, Native Strange and Adonis Alessi, and Nocturnal Winter. Just look them up on YouTube.
With a K.
Shows with a K. Nocturnal with a K, because they're edgy. They're so edgy. I cut myself on that edge. Less Than Human. Check out Less Than Human. Check out Obscure Sanity. They have an album out. Check them out.
Which I just want to say, if you're a metal fan that lives in Oklahoma and you support the scene and you haven't heard of Less Than Human yet, then
crawl out from under your fucking elitist rock. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. For real, my dudes.
For real, my droogs.
My droogs.
Anyway, but yeah, and then who else doesn't? Violent Victim have some music out?
Oh yeah, Violent Victim. I don't know if they have music out, but
yeah, maybe.
They're pretty badass, and I can't wait to play with them at the Halloween Fest.
But yeah, check out those bands I just named off. They're amazing. And if you want to know what Space Eyes is about, I guess check out Space Eyes. You can just find me on SoundCloud. It's the black and white picture with an explosion of light coming out of my chest. And Mr. Rogers' SoundCloud is called Mostly Harmless, Mostly Harmless, capital N, capital H, and you'll find us. The title is written in Russian, and except our album's called It's called our album is called Kill Yourself with a Shower Curtain, but translated from Russian, it's called he killed himself with a shower curtain. So, like, cause that's like, I guess they don't have it in Russian. I don't speak that much Russian. But, what else? Volition. Check out Volition. Volition released a demo a while ago. Volition's a good thrash band. Who else are we missing?
I think that's it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
No one else?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, we forgot Old Man.
Old man, take a look at my life. They know Old Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've met them. They're really cool dudes.
Yeah, I talked to vocalists last time I saw him. I started a conversation with him because I went over to him and I sang that. He was like, I love that song. I was like, are you guys going to cover? He's like, I don't know. And I was like, hey, so you guys are pretty quirky and we're like super fucking weird, so we would like fit well on the bill.
We'd like to play a show.
Yeah, and then he's like, yeah, that'd be cool. So who knows? Who knows what might happen?
I would love to see a show where it's Jack Ketch and the Bilge Rats, Machine in the Mountain, Old Man, Less Than Human, and Mr. Rogers.
Dude, that would be killer.
That would be the weirdest.
That
set
would give
ever.
me a hard on.
I
like
would-
a my heart's an affection erection, you know?
Yeah, that would give me a heart on too. It wouldn't make me, erect, but it would make my heart erect.
It'd make me very...
It would send me into a heart attack.
Yes.
So, but it'd be worth it. It'd be worth
It would,
it.
yes.
Yeah, very much so. I'd love to have that heart attack with you. I'd love to have that
Yes.
heart on.
If you're listening, local bands, we want to play shows.
We don't give a shit what show we play.
Yeah, we don't give a shit what we play.
We'll play that shit with you.
Yeah, well...
Even if it's rap, we'll do
Yeah, we want to play for anyone, anywhere, anytime. We don't care who.
Don't give a fuck. We love music.
Who cares what genre? Who gives a fuck? I don't care.
And if big bands, if you're listening, preferably Mike Patton.
Hey, Mike Patton, we want to do a
and
collab with you.
Opeth, Mike Patton, Swans.
Yeah.
If you can hear this, Michael Giroux, if you can hear this, man, like, I don't want to sound desperate, but if you could just, hook me up, if you could hook us up with that show, with that gig, I think you'd like us a lot since you toured with Baby D, just, give us that set, man, motherfucker.
And then on a note kind of like that, when I met Volbeat when they played back in August, I was like, introduced myself to Michael, and then he was like, hey, and I took a picture with him, and then he took pictures like everyone else and signing stuff. And as he was walking on the bus, I was like, I'm in a band called Mr. Rogers Intergalactic Sexual Experience. He just kind of looked back and he walked on his bus. So
He laughed.
So Volbeat knows about us, I guess.
Volbeat knows about us, and I'm pretty sure when they...
You're big in Denmark now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna show up in Denmark and he's gonna
There-
yeah, and then he's gonna look up on SoundCloud.
He'll come to our show and he'll say to Trevor, "Were you the guy that yelled that at me?" And he'll be like, "You remember?"
You know, I was so tempted to be like, "Hey, do you guys want to open for us?"
Yeah.
Just imagine. I can't really. I need to make a fool out of myself more to promote my shitty band.
Yeah, I need to do
Nowadays.
that too. Like
I
Mr.
should
Rogers
just-
has gotten bigger than Space Eyes, so I got to promote both of my shitty bands. One of them's just less shitty than the other because more people like it, and I'm just dying in my sleep every night. If you guys want to take me out of this existential fucking nightmare and just give us a fucking gig, that would be nice. That'd be great. If you could just give us some set, give us some gigs. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Office Space.
Yep.
Yeah, love that show. Okay, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
So, you guys have been doing this for 10 plus years?
11 years, yes.
11 years. Wow.
Now with the podcast we've been doing since May of 2015. So a year and a half almost.
You guys are approaching the triple digits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the 90s, so we're getting close to legitimizing this thing.
Yeah.
And-
Once you get to 100, you're set.
Yeah.
And
Hope so.
what's cool is that, they interviewed people from bands like Corrosion of Conformity and Death Angel and The Sword and Crowbar. So the fact that they've done it and that they've done those and that they're doing this too, that's just
I'm actually pretty honored to be on
Yeah.
here. I was like
Yeah,
really
thank
excited.
you.
I was really excited. Like whenever I was on my way back from Dallas from the Swan show with Savannah, and by the way, Savannah does my makeup, and if you guys want some great makeup artists, like for the bands who are listening, I'd ask Savannah Lazan. You can find her on Facebook, just Savannah Lazan, and Elena Stafford. They'll hook you up. Like they're great makeup artists, and they do a great job. I trust them with my makeup. But anyway, sorry for going off top. I just want to help as many people as I can.
Right.
Get their name out there. That's what we do.
You're a
lot.
saint.
Oh, thanks. I need to. Now they need to put me in the Vatican. Anyway, so what would I be the saint of? The saint of extreme music, not extreme metal, not metal, just extreme music.
Or
Anyway,
just weird fucking music.
that works. Odd music. Anyway, so we were coming back from Dallas, and I saw that you guys were messaging me in a group chat, and Trevor was in, and you guys said, "Yeah, we'd like to get Mr. Rogers on," and I was like, "What the fuck?" It was like Thunder Underground, man. They want to fucking like put me on there.
Hell yeah.
And like I was excited. I really was. I've been excited for so long, and I was like, for a while, I was like, "Are they going to do it? Are we going to do this?" And like I'm just like, "Oh, they're busy. They got a lot of shit going on. They have jobs. They also interview other bands and shit." But yeah, I was pretty excited. I was
Here
like,
we are.
me and Trevor were pretty excited. We were waiting for it. We thought we'd have the whole band here, but they're practicing tonight, and hopefully they got some stuff done.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, we were glad to have you, and this was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
It
you
was
guys.
I hope you had a lot of fun listening
Yes.
to the weirdest shit ever.
Definitely.
This is
Good.
probably the most laughs I've had during one of these. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, it's like every time that someone hangs out with us, whether it be a fan or a fellow musician.
We don't have
in
any
the
fans,
scene-
so we just have friends.
No, we have fans.
We have fan friends.
Those 15 people, those 15 random strangers that came to see us, those are fans.
No, they aren't.
Yes,
we don't
they
have
are.
fans.
Yes,
We
do.
hate people.
Okay, calm down, okay? Listen, Euronymous. Listen,
I want to
Euronymous.
throw my fecal matter at everyone.
Listen, Gigi, Jesus, come, shut the fuck up.
This
Okay.
is a big GG Allin fan here, by the way.
I have GG Allin's biography.
I'm
My
not
Prison
like
Walls.
a fan because he was
I mean,
nuts.
I mean,
Yes.
he thinks that
But
murder
I mean-
and rape should have been legal. Like,
Well, one of his fucking song titles is "Expose Yourself to Kids Before They Grow Up and It's Too Late." It's fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. But I'm intrigued. Have you seen the
I
documentary?
mean, it's
that the guy,
Hate in America.
yeah, the
I've
guy
seen
from
that.
Old School did it.
Yeah.
That's fucked. You need to see that.
Yeah, I like how they buried him because he had that song. He's like, when I die, don't do none shit to me. Just fucking bury me with some bottles or whatever.
Bury me
And they
with
did.
the bottle
Yeah, they did.
of Jim
And he
Beam,
stunk and
'cause it's
everything.
been my
Yeah.
only friend.
Yeah.
I know, that was one of his country songs.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually listened to that song. I love that song. Like, GG Allin was a fucked up individual, but you cannot deny that he is an icon in extreme music, both punk and metal. Because, like, amongst others, he's up there with Dead. He's up there with, Gall. He's up there with Ozzy Osbourne. He's up there with Alice Cooper.
Mhm.
They've done, like, they may not have done, like, Dead may have done just as much fucked up shit as Gigi, but Dead never promoted rape or anything. He just promoted killing yourself and death. But, like, Gall doesn't really promote any of that. But, I just mean, like, stage persona-wise, he was like a fucked up individual,
Yeah, he
and
was.
like Alice Cooper and Ozzy Osbourne and Dead and GG Allin, those guys like were on the same level. They did equally fucked up shit. Alice Cooper's done more fucked up shit than Ozzy Osbourne, but Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off a dove and biting the head off a bat, that still rings to this day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
it does.
And I just respect GG Allin as an artist and as an individual, not for what he believed in, not for what he preached, but
Yeah.
just as an individual, as an icon, and as a musician.
And then one last thing. I don't think
This isn't going
artists
to be the
should.
last thing. I think they should just say we're going to wrap it up, and then
Okay. Okay. Well, I just one last thing. I don't think that you should throw poo poo at people. I don't think that's
I'm not going to throw poo poo at people.
okay.
I'm not
we'll
going to
leave
do
it at
that.
that.
I will never do that.
We'll leave it at that. Okay.
I'm not going to do that. I may kill myself on stage.
Yes. With poo-poo.
Live suicide. Like, with a gun.
And then poo-poo.
No, because I'll be dead.
Okay.
I mean, I may shit
I mean, that's the only way you could top.
happens.
That's the only way you could top Gigi. So
Well,
yeah, because
but
that's
if
what he
it's-
wanted to do.
he wanted to do,
never
but
got to do it.
he's too busy ODing.
Yeah, and his friends took pictures with his dead body. Or, no, they took it while he was ODing, while he was in his coma. And he just died, and his friends called the ambulance, and the ambulance came and got him, and nope, what happened? They left. Because they kind of knew they'd be fucked since they were taking a shit ton of drugs.
Yep.
But yeah, I was really, like, you know, I love that book. Like, I honestly do. You get to actually see what was going on in Gigi's life in prison. And, you know, he really hated authority. He really hated the prison guards, and the prison guards would fuck with him and shit. But the thing that he did a lot in prison mainly was drawing and writing to his girlfriends.
And masturbating.
Who were like 17 and 18. And he wrote to John Wayne Gacy, which John Wayne Gacy's letters, I've read them. They're in the book. And, you know, whenever I showed that to my friend Savannah, like, she was, like, excited. Because, you know, me and her, we were, like, fascinated by serial killers. And John Wayne Gacy is one of her favorite serial killers. Same with me. And, you know, John Wayne Gacy drew portraits of GG Allin. And I think, like, the other things that, like, intrigued me, how did his dick not get raw jerking off all the time in prison? He was a chronic masturbator, and he had such a small dick. How could he get a grip on that? How could his girlfriends were fucking 17, right? They were like 17, right? 17 and 18, and this guy's like fucking 30.
He was too old.
He was fucking old. Anyway, 17 and 18-year-olds, and they're like, this is my father, this is my daddy. I'm like, oh, God, no, honey. No. Don't say that. That's all kinds of fucked up.
Yep, he was fucked up, that's for sure.
You know who else is fucked up? That me and Trevor's girlfriend, Cambria. Which, by the way, if you want an amazing makeup artist to do your makeup for you, Cambria Renee. She'll do it for you. She's awesome. She's great with makeup, and, you know, she's gonna do Trevor's makeup, and she may do my makeup someday, but she's gonna do Trevor's, and, you know, Cambria's awesome. Anyway, me and Cambria love Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Charles Manson, amazing musician, crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
And, you know, I really want to... Batshit crazy, yeah. And, you know, yeah, crazy motherfucker. I watched his documentary, and, you know, like, some of the shit that he says is pretty intense. But, like, I think one of the coolest things I ever saw him do is, like, when they asked him in court, who are you? And he made, like, these weird faces. And he said, no one. I'm a bum. I'm a hobo. And I'm just some weirdo. And I was like, damn. It's like the one time I ever saw him look sane for once.
Yeah.
And when he said that, you know, like, that's just always, like, stuck with me since I was a kid. And, you know, like, my lyrics, like, I have lyrics prepared for Mr. Rogers' songs, you know, actually. And I put a lot of depth into them. I'm glad we're still going. Anyway, but I put a lot of depth into the lyrics, like, because one of my favorite lyricists is Christian Espadel Gall of Gorgoroth, because his songs are very philosophical. My songs aren't philosophical, but I try to get into it as deep and as emotional as him. Like, one of my songs, it's called El Ducerino.
I gave him the song.
He gave me the song idea, the idea for the title, because I was like kind of overanalyzing it. But the song is like basically about it's kind of about people who use you, and people who want nothing more than to use you as a crutch to get forward in life. They're kind of independent. They're kind of dependent on you, and it's not a codependency, but in a way it is, because the person who they're dependent on begins to become dependent of that person because they want to take care of that person. So they kind of become codependent on each other. For this person to survive, they need to depend on this person who's helping them survive because they're carrying all the weight. And for this person to, quote unquote, survive, they feel like their purpose is to take care of this person. and they feel like that person is their responsibility, and that's what El Ducerino is about. It's talking about how those people who manipulate others to believe like that they need them are twisted and fucked up, and they're nothing but weaklings. And I have other songs like one of them is called "They're Friends," and it's about it's kind of about how people who are in the closet, who are homosexuals, like some of them have their stories where they've tried their hardest to be straight, and they really have, but they kind of can't help it. So with their partner, like who they're in a heterosexual relationship with, they'll try all these things to try and make themselves like attracted to them, but it's never the same because they're not attracted to that person. They're attracted to, like, if it's a woman, she's attracted to women. If it's a guy, they're attracted to men, and it's just not the same. They don't have the same touch as a man does or as a woman does because, they're the opposite sex.
You know a lot about this, Dakota. You have something to tell us?
I have friends that tell me these things. I just listen and I try to capture it, and I try to do what Peter Steele does. He puts himself in their shoes and looks at it from their perspective, and I do that constantly. And another song I've written lyrics for, it's called "Tug of War," and it's about how people nowadays are distracted by just the struggle of getting by in life, and how there's really no one else there to help them. They're kind of on their own in the world, and they really have no one else there to walk them through it. And for those people, it talks about how some of them, they get better, they learn from the suffering they endure, and they try to make it not happen again, or they try to make things better, and they work with what they got, and they get to a point where they're past it all, and they have a very prosperous and great life because they persevered through all the bullshit. And then there are some people who just get stuck in the bullshit, who can't leave it because that's all they know, and they know there's like all these ways out, but they're kind of afraid because they think something else will happen to them, something worse will happen to them, even though there's a part of them that tells them something good will happen. They just never risk the chance. They'd rather stick with what they have instead of trying to work with what they have to get more, and not a lot of people know that because I just don't really reveal my lyrics to people when it comes to Mr. Rogers. But some songs are funny too. Some songs are funny.
I came up with a song idea called Existential Pizza, and like the last couple lines are like, with cheesy goodness comes dire consequences. And it's just kind of like a System of a Down influence.
Yeah. And like the song, in that song, "They're Friends," like it talks about like it gets pretty graphic sometimes, the way that I describe my stuff. Like it really does. Like it gets really graphic. I've never like had to like explain it, but it says, I'll read you some lyrics. I'll read it. Okay, ready? It says, he'd rather be packing his fudge, trying to get her to budge on giving his fudge conveyor a nudge. His libido is limp and dead like his stringy friend. Just get it back up, she has to give you head. You can only smother her when you're thinking of her mother or her brother. Even when you're in, she never gets to end. No wonder she wanted me to clutter up her butter gutter. Peggy, Peggy, give it to me rough, baby. Peggy, Peggy, suit up, strap in, get me loaded, baby. If you get the Peggy thing,
Yes.
For those of you who don't get the Peggy thing, Peggy is a reference to pegging. That's pegging, Pegging. And if you don't know what pegging is, look it up.
I was thinking of
I've already said a bunch of really bad stuff already, and I think I need to tone it down a bit.
I just want to say one last thing. Ranch it up.
Okay, ranch it up. Time
Ranch it
to
up.
deliver a pizza ball.
Nope. Ranch it up.
Nope, time to deliver a pizza ball.
All right.
We love Eric Andre, by the way. That's also where we get our influence from our stage presence.
Yep.
We get it from Eric Andre. We actually watch comedians and TV shows, and we kind of get our influence from a stage persona from those TV shows. Like
Rick and Morty.
Eric Andre, Loiter Squad,
Yeah.
George Carlin.
Yeah.
and the weird stuff that Maynard does in Pussifer. And also, Bill Hicks?
Oh yeah, Bill Hicks definitely.
Yeah, that's where I get that's where the dark humor and stuff comes from. Bill Hicks and George Carlin and Rick and Morty. We try to capture that, But yeah.
Yep.
Before we go, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask us, like from all the shit that we've just said? Even though we said we were going to wrap it up about a long time ago.
No, we love it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Covered
that was awesome.
What I have.
I like that we said we were going to wrap it up 30 minutes ago and still kept going. That's fucking good.
Yeah,
that's the good ones.
Yeah, we honestly have so much to say, but we can't because there's a lot of stuff that Mr. Rogers is planning, and there's a lot of stuff that Mr. Rogers is writing.
Yeah,
and we're just. We have a lot of ideas and we have a lot of things we're working on, but we just can't reveal them right now. I will say one thing, though, about this show coming up. David Nicholas, our keyboardist, will be playing a real organ at this show. It's a real organ. It's a heavy as shit organ with the amp inside of it and all that. It's a real organ, and if you want to see this crazy shit, because, this could be the last time we play this organ for a while. So if you want to come see us play this organ... come on, because it's going to be a weird-ass show at the Gypsy,
Are we bringing it to the Gypsy and the Halloween?
No, we're not, because the stage isn't big enough.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah,
okay.
so he's just going to play,
just
going to play the
Gypsy. Bring it to the Gypsy.
Yeah, we're going to bring it to the Gypsy Friday, October 28th. We're going to fuck shit up, and we're going to have a good time. Please come see us. Come hang out with us. Come have a good time. And this has been Coda.
Trevor.
And we're Mr. Rogers, and we want to thank you guys, Trent and Jason, for having us.
This is great.
Come on.
We appreciate you doing it.
And we appreciate you bringing us on. We hope that you guys come out to the show this Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a ball. We'd love to see you guys there.
Definitely.
We'll have more fun, and I'll
more gay jokes.
More gay jokes. More 9/11 jokes.
We'll call you out on stage.
More Jew jokes, yes. Apparently it's okay for me to say it, because...
we'll roast you guys on stage between songs.
What's that?
So we'll roast you guys on stage between songs.
Us,
you want us to roast you? Shit.
Yes.
Okay. Tree?
No, I meant on stage between songs.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Tree, any...
anything else?
Anything else?
No, Ravioli, 9/11 was inside jobbioli.
Did you know that 7-Eleven was a part-time job and that Slurpees can't melt steel beams?
Yeah. All right, we'll leave it at that.
There you go. Once again, Trevor and Dakota from Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience.
M-Rise.
Say what?
M-Rise. That's what it says on their Facebook. Suck my ass.
Okay. Well, thanks to them, for coming out here, doing that, and knocking that out. That was a good one. Long, lengthy, but, I think, like you mentioned there at the end, that was, we laughed a lot more than we usually do, which is a great thing.
Yeah, we did.
And, like I said, great to see, guys their age that are this, into music and this knowledgeable about it.
That's right.
And, it'll be cool to see where these guys go in life with, with their music and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, and like we said, Dakota, like you would dig, is a Broncos fan.
Yeah. No, he said he's a Packers fan.
Oh, shit.
He was just going for the Broncos on that Monday Night Football game.
Hey, that'll work.
Yeah.
Trevor, we got to go to Crowbar, Trevor, back in the summer. So, I mean, this is great stuff, and we had fun. And, this is another one of those things. This is not the usual hard rock metal. These guys are a little bit more experimental, and, just be open to that.
Yeah. And but they love the metal. They love the hard rock.
Yeah.
And, I imagine that, something to mention, Dakota has other stuff going on, like his Space Eyes project, which is more electronic. And I've listened to a lot of it, and his voice is great, I think, because he changes every song, he sings in a different style. And it's really cool to see that. And, so their love of music expands into what they're doing. And I think, we'll probably see both of these guys doing a heavy project too at some point.
Definitely. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Those guys should definitely do that.
Yeah. Well, if this is your first time listening and you're still listening after an hour and a half plus, we appreciate it. TheThunderUnderground.com is the website. SoundCloud.com/Thunder-Underground has all these podcasts on here. Got 92 other ones. We've had on guys from Death Angel, Crowbar, Battlecross, Insight, Warrant, Europe, Trickster, Bullet Boys, Megadeth, Drowning Pool, Soil, Shooter Jennings, Ian Moore, Scott Weinrich.
Yes.
From The Obsessed.
And
Spirit Caravan.
Yes.
And, and also St. Vitus.
That's right.
We don't mention that enough.
That's all right.
Yeah, we've had on guys from Scattered Hamlet twice now.
Yes.
And speaking of, they're going to be back here in Tulsa next Friday, which will be November 4th. And it's actually the day that their new album releases. I think they're having a release party in LA like a couple days before. And then that show is the official release day. And then they're doing a few days release like a lot of bands do.
Okay.
Anyway, that album Swamp Rebel Machine comes out that day. And there is a review up on our website. Probably by the time you're hearing it, get on there, check that out. You're going to love it if you love Southern rock, metal, blues.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
This album slays.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that more after that show, I'm sure, and that album's out. Definitely going to check that out.
Yeah. But, we've also had local guys, Senior Fellows, Driver, Blackwater Rebellion, Scorned, Severmind. Man, we've had a ton of local guys.
Crane Technique,
yeah. Just check all that out. Rocket Science, Dead Metal Society. There's so many things to check out, so many episodes. Go give them a listen.
Yeah, Fist of Rage, and speaking of, they're opening for Tracy Guns at the Shrine on November 2nd, along with Driver,
yes,
Drunk on Monday, and Doxy,
yes,
are also all opening up that show. And speaking of, we've got a contest going on our Facebook page right now. So if you like LA Guns, or if you just like great guitarist, Tracy Guns is a great damn guitarist. So get out there to Shrine to check it out. But anyway, we've got 2 free tickets. We're running a contest right now, so just get on our Facebook page and get on there and comment and all that stuff.
That's right. And you know what? The same day at Downtown Lounge, King is playing.
Yes.
And Blackwater Rebellion is opening.
Yes.
So, all hail to them.
Yeah. And King, we've mentioned before, new album is fantastic.
Yes.
So, that's a tough choice. 2 totally different types of things, but get your ass to Downtown Lounge to see King, or to the Shrine to see Tracy Guns. And then, like I said earlier, Gypsy Coffee House this Friday night for Mr. Rogers' Intergalactic Sexual Experience. And then Saturday night, they're playing the Halloween Fest 3 in Broken Arrow with Less Than Human and several other bands.
There you go.
All right. Well, I think we've rambled long enough. We'll see you next week with Guns for Roses. We've mentioned that a couple times. We got this interview coming up with the tribute band out of Dallas that is big time. So, anyway, be on the lookout for that if you're a Guns N' Roses fan, or if you just like to listen to us talk. All right, until next time.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
You're a faggot.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh wait, one more thing. I got the results back, Trev.
Yeah.
You're HIV positive.
Okay.
Wow, you took that really well.
Yeah.
Did you know this already?
Yeah.
Why did you come in?
I don't know.
You just felt like it?
Yeah.
Felt like wasting my time?
Yeah.
Giving me money?
Yeah.
You want Obamacare?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Get rid of the HIV. Andy from Fist of Rage said he got AIDS at one of their shows and then got rid of it the next day.
What the fuck, dude?
Wait a minute. Wait, what? He got AIDS at a show and it went away the next. Did he just check with the doctor that night? Was he just like, I kind of feel a little funny?
It was just the 24-hour AIDS.
Yeah. Just the 24-hour AIDS.
Listen to the Mr. AIDS podcast.
So it's kind of like Magic Johnson, how he lost like his shit. Like, he lost his AIDS. Yeah. But, like this guy, Andy lost his fucking AIDS. Fuck is this shit? Why? Trevor, maybe we'll find a way.
He took a few ibuprofen, bam, gone.
Shit, ibuprofen's the cure? It's been right under our nose this whole time.
Yeah, that's right.
You take 5 of them, that's what it is.
5. Hey,
just 5 ibuprofen, and your AIDS and HIV is gone.
That's
forever.
Right.
Thunder Underground, y'all.